Mission 96 here, another review, this time of Marvel Select Abomination. So here you go. So very popular figure when this thing came out. It has been out for a couple years now, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm just getting mine now. I really have not been collecting Diamond Select. My first really Diamond Select figure that I got that then I started collecting was my Loki from the Thor movie. I did have Thanos, but I just got Thanos for the character. I wasn't starting to collect the line. So Loki was the first figure that I got that I really started collecting the Select line. And I pre-ordered the Hulk from Avengers, and along with it, to combine some shipping, I put in Juggernaut and a bomb. So they both came, and now doing a review of Abomination. So here's the package. As you can see, a great just Abomination sticker there. His face looks great. On the side here, love the artwork. Very Abomination-like, just really cool, and just really liking it. On the back here, you get a nice picture of Abomination. Another kind of picture of him just from the comics. A little bio, and some others. Daredevil and Spider-Man don't have either of them, and don't plan to get them. So yes, so let me just get this huge box out of the way for you. And yeah, let's move in the Abomination. So very cool. So this is my first real Abomination big figure, other than one other kind of smaller one that I'll get in right now. Here we go, this one. This was my only other Abomination comic version. Just this really little, small superhero squad one that, as you can just see from the size, does not compare to this big one whatsoever. So, this was really my first real Abomination figure, and the only one that is worth comparing as far as the comic versions. So yes, so this Abomination is just very cool. Little lacking on articulation, but the just might of it just really makes up for everything. As you can see here, the sculpt on the face just looks great. A really menacing kind of look. I just love it. The head articulation is just a swivel. So but that's good enough. Just the way that his neck is all shaped. You know, it's totally fine that they did that. He's got ball hinge shoulders, which can move around, as well as hinge elbows and swivel wrist, which is nice. Swivel waist, ball jointed thighs with thigh swivel, and hinge ankles and knees. So there you go. So, but just his might, it is just so hard to pose him in anything really great. So it's really typically just going to be in these standing poses that you'll find people using. Really nothing crazy that you can do with him, but just how wide he is just insane. For his height, he is definitely the figure that weighs the most for me. Galactus, Sentinel from Marvel Universe, they do weigh more, but as for a height of this kind, he is definitely the heaviest. I'd say a couple pounds here, 3, 4 maybe. Just really a heavy figure, and that's just because he's so big. He is kind of a rubberish, just if you can feel in him. I don't know. He isn't rubber, but he just gives me that kind of feel. I don't know why. It kind of just feels like there's a little bit of rubber in there, but not much. It's really just plastic. To compare him with some other Abominations, no more comic versions, but I do have some movie ones. So there you go. They look like the same figure, but they're actually different. And really, they just do not compare. I totally wish that they made a Diamond Select movie Abomination, because I love the way this guy looks. I think that the movie one looks better than the comic one. They're so different, it's hard to compare, but that's just what I think. Overall, it looks great. If you have a nice Diamond Select Hulk, I do have the Avengers one. And you know what? You want to see a comparison of that? Let me just run and get it. Okay, here he is. They really don't go together just because they're so different looking, how one's movie, one's comic, but and they're so different as far as height and stuff. As you can see, Hulk is much taller, but is a lot less beefier than the Abom, so you can't compare them, I don't think, although they're from the same toy line, you know, it just doesn't work. But overall, I really love it. The detail in this is just marvelous. Just the amount of work that went into this guy and the legs and the fantastic sharp toenails and fingernails. It just looks great. I really love it. Just a very solid figure. You might just want to take a screwdriver and screw in the screws on the brackets for your shelf just a little bit tighter when you're getting ready to put this guy in your shelf, just because of his mass. Really amazing figure. Love the detail. Articulation's good, but the sculpt and the weight and the just mass totally make up for any loss in the articulation whatsoever. So really a no-brainer pickup. Nowadays it's not too expensive. 35 bucks, you can get one easy, so definitely recommend it. It's certainly worth it. I mean, just regular 3 3/4 inch figures nowadays cost $10, so 3 of them doesn't even compare closely to the amount of plastic that you get in this one, and they're the same price. So no brainers, just pick this guy up. Very good. And what I totally forgot to do was give you a size comparison with the jug. Let's get him out here. So as you can see, the two probably biggest, as far as bulkiest, Diamond Select figures that have been out. And Abomination is a little bit taller and is heavier, I will say, by a decent amount too, although Juggernaut is very heavy. So overall, just a really great figure, highly recommended by me, and a no-brainer pickup. So there you go, so that's my review of Diamond Select Abomination. Thanks for watching.